September of 2025 marks 10 years since I completed the Appalachian Trail, so I wanted to make this video where I talk about how it affected my life. I walked a traditional northbound route from Springer Mountain in Georgia to the summit of Mount Katahdin in Maine, and I started on March 21st and I finished on September 7th of 2015. So this isn't something that I just completed last week. I've had a decade to mull over these thoughts, and I do think about my Appalachian Trail thru hike all the time. It marks a real pivotal moment in my life, and it was the catalyst to a lot of other hikes and travels. When someone asks me the question, what made you want to do something like that? I usually just say that I wanted to go on an adventure, and I mean, that's definitely true, but the deeper reason is that I didn't like who I was becoming, and I didn't like the life that I was living. I felt like I could see my entire life's path just laid out in front of me, and it looked like a very boring life to me. So I really just wanted a new beginning for myself. I wanted a clean slate, to turn over a new leaf, or hit the reset button on life, if you will. And looking back on it, the Appalachian Trail definitely did that for me. I had known about the Appalachian Trail since I was a kid. I grew up in the Middle Tennessee area and would go out to Great Smoky Mountains National Park on vacation on a fairly regular basis. But it wasn't until about 2012 or so that the AT really started to get my attention. And from then on, it was just kind of on my mind exponentially. I couldn't stop thinking about it. I went down the path of reading all about it, learning about thru-hikers, and watching YouTube videos of others that were doing it at the time. And it really just became something that I got obsessed with. I started doing a lot of day hiking leading up to 2015, and I just hated having to go back to work. I just wanted to be outside hiking all day. I was 28 years old in 2015, and now that I'm 10 years older, I look back on it, and I'm just so glad that I decided to do it when I did. In hindsight, it really has shaped my life in very unique ways. My mindset as a thru-hiker in 2015 was definitely very serious. I was one of those people that was like, I'm gonna do this no matter what. I was really prepared. I had all my resupply points mapped out. I probably over-prepared for that trail in a lot of ways. But in hindsight, I kind of wish I would have relaxed a little more. I mean, I guess I did towards the end, but in the beginning, I was definitely one of those hikers that was taking this thing a little too seriously. Also, I wish I would have taken more time to really get to know some of my fellow thru-hikers. I mean, not that I didn't at all. I definitely did, but I could have been a little more open in getting to know people. The whole experience of that roughly 6-month period of time is very obscure to me now. It's almost like it was a dream, but I know it was real.
It's still real to me, damn it!
The moment that I finished the trail, I was definitely happy, but it kind of was just like, okay, that's that. And then it didn't really hit me until I started walking down from Mount Katahdin. So I don't know, it's really hard to explain those emotions, but the following few weeks were nothing short of Cloud 9. And this was a Cloud 9 feeling like I had never experienced before. I've yet to get that feeling of accomplishment again, and I do feel like it is something that I've been chasing in all of my travels since the Appalachian Trail. So in the first year after my thru hike, I moved to Australia for a year, and everything was different to me. It was all really new, so I didn't just go back to the same old job that I had before the trail. So moving down under was another adventure that I just threw myself into, and that really helped stave off a lot of the post-trail depression that a lot of other thru-hikers will report. But yeah, I'm definitely very aware that the Appalachian Trail primed me for that vagabond or travel lifestyle. The AT definitely changed my perspective on money. I bought a car when I came back to the US in 2017, and it cost me like $1,700. And I kid you not, I'm still driving it today. If it's not broke, don't fix it. And if it's working, why replace it? I'm definitely not trying to keep up with the Joneses at all. I'm sure you can tell from some of my past videos that I'm not a very stylish person either. But, you know, I just don't care about any of that. It just doesn't interest me. I'm definitely not trying to buy new clothes. I mean, most of my clothes are all secondhand clothes. And yeah, I'm just not trying to consume as much as I think a lot of other people do. And I think that's something that I took away from the Appalachian Trail. I've just realized that I don't need much to be happy. My relationship with hiking and the outdoors has definitely changed a lot since 2015 as well. I'm much less likely to take on a long, arduous hike at this point in my life, mostly because of some medical issues that I'm dealing with. But even if that wasn't going on, I don't think I would be planning another big trek for a long while. I'm not saying that I'll never thru-hike again. I would love to attempt the PCT again, but for right now, I'm just happy if I can find a place to relax in the outdoors, even if that is just in the backyard or out on a local trail. But yeah, my relationship with hiking in the outdoors has definitely changed since 2015. I do feel the need to point out that I had a lot of support around me. My friends and family were very supportive. I know a lot of people don't have that. I'm also just glad that I decided to do it and just went for it. I think one of the hardest parts about attempting a thru hike for a lot of people is just making the commitment and setting a date. It's easy to get the gear and go on the weekend shakedown hikes and quote unquote prepare for it. But when it comes to quitting your job and actually making a plan to head to the trailhead, I think a lot of people get cold feet. And I think it only gets harder to commit to doing something like a thru hike the older you get. The responsibilities will just continue to pile on. So I think the longer that you delay, the less likely you are to do it. So I guess in that respect, I'm just glad that I did it while I was fairly young and I didn't have any medical issues or joint or muscle aches, which is such a huge advantage, and it really will affect whether or not you're enjoying the trail. But let me be clear, you're never too old to take on a thru hike. There's a lot of retirees that attempt it, and seeing people that are in their 70s and even 80s is a true inspiration. So I just want to say that it is never too late. And I actually really enjoy talking with some of the older people that I've met out on the trail. A lot of them have lived very interesting lives, and you can learn a lot from them. I feel like there's such a generational divide in today's society. It's one of the best places where you can actually engage with people that are older or younger, and there's a lot of value in that. I'm also just so glad that something like long trails exists. The trail infrastructure has been set up by people who've already done a lot of the work, and I just want to take a moment and give thanks to all the trail maintainers, trail organizations, and people that are fighting to protect the future of long trails like the Appalachian Trail. It really is up to all of us to make sure that long trails are here for future generations. They're not going to protect themselves. I just don't feel like it's right to make this video and not mention that at all. If you want to learn more about the Appalachian Trail or any one of the 11 other national scenic trails, I would encourage you to reach out to one of those organizations near you, or even if you can't do that, just go out on a short hike on one and you'll see the value in it. You definitely won't regret it. The national scenic trails in the United States are a national treasure. If you're thinking about thru hiking the Appalachian Trail or some other long trail, all I can tell you is that at some point you'll have to decide whether or not this is something that you're actually going to do. And I'm not trying to persuade you one way or the other. Thru hiking is not for everybody. I'm convinced that it helped me move forward in a lot of ways in my life, but that doesn't mean it will do the same for you too. One thing I would recommend is that you make your decision on your own before you reveal it to the world. That way you know that it was your decision and it wasn't influenced by anyone else, be it your mom or your dad or siblings or close friends. I don't know, that's just my opinion, but it is really interesting to see how everyone reacts when you let them all know. And again, I just want to repeat myself, I'm not trying to convince you to do a thru hike. You need to make that decision on your own. Thru hiking the Appalachian Trail or any other long trail is not going to be the answer to all of your problems. Or maybe it is. Who am I to say how you should live your life or what things are going to fix your life? So okay, that's about all I have to say for this video, everyone. Hope you guys got something out of it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.